Now that Mortal Kombat 1 is dropped, I replayed all of the Netherealm Mortal Kombat games, so it's time to rank them. Let's get started. Hello everyone, welcome back. And what I decided to do was, the main thing I'm going to be ranking them on is the campaign, the story and things like that, but that's not the only thing, but that is the main focus. I'll talk about, how you can customize the characters and the other things you can do, the crypt and things like that, so that will be mentioned, but the main thing I'm looking at here is the campaign. Sorry I'm not, in the normal setup. I'm out doing some family stuff right now, and so I just went ahead and filmed this here, since I won't be back for a while. So, let's go ahead and get started. So, before I mention number 4, I wanted to mention, I love all of these games. I really, truly do love every single one of these games. And it was super hard to decide which game I wanted, to be in last place, but I think I've finally decided. So, let's get started with number 4. I decided to go with Mortal Kombat X. Most people are probably going to be really mad at me, and they would say Mortal Kombat 11 is better, but we'll get to that in a little bit. With Mortal Kombat X, I still love the story. I think that there are a lot of great things about it. I like the 20-year gap and everything that they do, but I don't think it's a perfect game. I think there are a lot of plot holes and things that happen, and I don't think it has a very good villain. I would argue that Shinnok is a worse villain than Kronika, or Kronika, however you pronounce it. A lot of people think Shinnok is better than Kronika, and people hate Kronika, which is the villain in Mortal Kombat 11, but I actually think Shinnok is a worse villain. He's defeated multiple times in the story mode. In the first chapter, he is defeated by Johnny Cage, and I love Johnny Cage, but you shouldn't be able to beat Shinnok, just casually. Yeah, he has the green power, but I still don't think he should be able to defeat Shinnok. And then, for most of the game, he doesn't show up. He's in his little amulet for most of the game, and then in Chapter 9, he's brought back, but he doesn't really do much until the final chapter, where he just gets defeated again by Cassie Cage. So I don't see the threat there. He's even more powerful than he was in the first chapter, because he's become corrupted Shinnok, and then he still gets defeated by, a teenager, or she's not a teenager, but she's, in her 20s, she's not as experienced as these other fighters, and she's able to beat a corrupted Shinnok. Again, I know the green energy and all that, but still, and I think some characters are underutilized. That's a major Netherealm problem with all of their games, even the Injustice ones. I don't think they know what to do with certain characters. Let me give you an example. In Injustice 2, there's Atrocity. Words are hard. Red Lantern. Red Lantern. He appears once, just kind of randomly, and then you never see him again. And in this game, I think that's very much a thing that's, key. And then they introduce a lot of characters I despise. I think Devora is one of the worst characters ever in Mortal Kombat, and she kills off 2 major characters in just this game. She kills off another one in Mortal Kombat 11, but in this game alone, she kills off Baraka and Mileena. And if you're going to kill off a character, I think you need to make it, especially, fan favorites, you gotta make it worth something. You gotta make it mean something. I will say, Scorpion in Mortal Kombat 11, his death, I just think it meant something a little more. He was rebuilding the Shirai Ryu, and he's able to start his arc for his younger self, so I think his death is a little better. But they kill off Baraka just for shock value, and Mileena did not have to be killed. She simply could have just been defeated, and that, she didn't have to appear again. But she's just kind of murdered brutally. It didn't feel right. I don't know. So Devora is a terrible character, and then characters that I love or I think are really cool but are underutilized are characters like Aaron Black, who I think is really cool. He doesn't do much. Reptile, I've always really liked him, and he's just a jobber, but that's always been kind of the case. And then there's Kotal Khan, who's so unlikable, and I know you're not really supposed to like him, but he's just he's not even a good antagonist. If you want your antagonist to be an interesting foe, and I think that all all of the antagonists in this game are good. Haven't even gotten started with Quan Chi. Quan Chi is pathetic. He's a punching bag. He gets kicked in the nuts by Sonya Blade, and then he gets decapitated by Scorpion. He's there just so you have some villain until Shinnok is returned, because there's, for like 8 chapters you don't see Shinnok, so they had to have some villain from Netherealm. You know who you could have had been the villain? The Revenants, because they were promised in MK9 to be like these major villains, and they don't really do much. They're just kind of jobbers. And so I think that instead of having Quan Chi just be another generic villain, you could have had like the Revenants, Liu Kang, Katana, Kung Lao, Stryker, Sindel, Cabal, all of those characters that were killed in Mortal Kombat 9 that are now Revenants. I think they could have been the Quan Chi in this game, trying to get Shinnok's amulet. But that's just my opinion. I still love a lot of the things in this game. I really enjoy the combat kids. I just think that they're likable characters. And this is kind of when Johnny Cage, you really get to see his arc. In Mortal Kombat 9, he's incredibly unlikable. And after the 20-year gap, how he's changed. And I love this, him and Sonya, and, they're divorced now. And there's, like, a lot of reasons. It's interesting. Like, Sonya Blade is focusing on her job because, she's in charge of special forces, and Johnny feels like she's not spending enough time with the family. So just a lot of great moments in there. And I love Sub-Zero in this game. I think this is the best we've ever seen as Sub-Zero. He absolutely spanks all the combat kids, and then he absolutely bullies Kotal Khan, which is awesome. And so I just thought it was really cool to see him in there. I love what they did with him. So I still enjoy a ton of this game, but there are a lot of chapters that I think kind of lack. Like Chapter 2 with Kotal Khan. I just despise Kotal Khan in this game. Let's talk about some of the things in there that are non-campaign that I don't like. I think that there are the skins, and getting the skins are just not good in this game. In Mortal Kombat 11 and in Mortal Kombat 1, you can customize your characters with gear and things like that. Now, I know Mortal Kombat 9 and X, they're a little older, but still, in Mortal Kombat X, it's a lot harder to get the skins. Most of the skins aren't even very good, and there's no customization. It's just, you get a new skin, you can't change it, you can't customize it, so if you don't like the skin that you get, which you rarely get skins. Let me show you an example. I play Mortal Kombat 11 and Mortal Kombat X a lot on my Xbox. Mortal Kombat 11, I have hundreds of skins, because there's so many choices, you can customize it, and it's a lot of fun. In Mortal Kombat X, you don't get that choice. I have, I think the most skins I have for a character is, 8. I have 10 Johnny Cages and 8 Scorpions, and that's not a lot compared to the other games. I already almost had that amount in Mortal Kombat 1, and that's a new game. So that just kind of shows, you can't customize, and a lot of them aren't very good, so it's just kind of, okay. I do love the Crypt. This is the game that introduced the Crypt, and I thought that it was really cool, and there were some jump scares in there, but I think Mortal Kombat 11 surpassed it. That's why I like Mortal Kombat 11 a little more, and we will get to that in a second. So that's why I put Mortal Kombat X in this spot. Again, I still love this game. I play it all the time. But since these games are so great, I have to find little details and things I don't like. So that's just how it works in here. Next up at number 3 is Mortal Kombat 11. Most people consider this the worst Mortal Kombat Netherrealm game, and I disagree completely. The story mode, a lot of people hate. They hate Chronica, they hate a lot of the choices for certain characters, and just kind of going into it, I think that Sonya Blade's death and Scorpion's death are handled wonderfully. In Mortal Kombat X, a lot of the main characters that are just killed off, other than Quan Chi, the other two that are main characters like Baraka and Mileena are just kind of killed off when they don't really need to. In this game, Sonya Blade is sacrificing herself for Cassie Cage, and that helps younger Sonya Blade in her arc. And then Scorpion sacrifices himself. Not really sacrificing, he's the reason that younger Scorpion, this Scorpion filled with anger, is able to help Earthrealm. And so I think that these deaths are a lot better. And also, this game is beautiful. If you compare Injustice 2 to Mortal Kombat 11, they both have great graphics, but just in 2 years, Mortal Kombat 11 looks so realistic, and the game still holds up, even though it's 5 years old. It still looks top notch. If this game came out today, the graphics would look incredible. Netherrealm has always been, up on the graphics, so I think that's really cool. And again, the story mode, I love stories where past and present collide. I just think that that's a cool thing. And so seeing Johnny Cage and young Johnny Cage is my favorite character. So this game really just completes his arc. You know, him realizing how stupid he was, or how much of a jerk he was in Mortal Kombat 9, and him defending Cassie Cage. And, you know, younger Johnny Cage says, I swear to tap that at the earliest opportunity to Sonya, and older Johnny Cage really just does not like him, like that version, and the fights in there. There are some incredible chapters. The chapters 6 through 8 are awesome. So in chapter 6 you have Johnny Cage and Kano, Aaron Black, and Sector attack Special Forces base, and so Johnny and younger Johnny have to defend it, and it's awesome. And then in Chapter 7, you have Katana, and she works with Shiva and the Tarkatans to rescue Kotal Khan and defeat Shao Kahn, and I loved that fight. I thought it was incredible. And then in Chapter 8, you have younger Sonya Blade, and her and Cassie comes in and rescues her, and it's an awesome thing. And so you kind of, younger Sonya Blade's arc is kind of complete. She realizes that she was wrong. You know, she makes up with Cassie. She's finally able to get with Johnny Cage, and she kills Kano, finally. Able to do that. So I just love those stuff. I love the moment where you see Liu Kang become a god. I loved it so much, and he just kicks all of the Revenant's butt. A lot of people had issues with Kronika, and I don't have any huge issues with her. That's probably just because I love the story a lot, but she's not the most interesting villain, but I don't mind her. Is she like top notch? No, but I really like her still. And so I just loved a lot of the character moments in this story mode, and the sacrifices, and the designs are also really good. So let's talk about non-story mode things. The customization. This is the best customization in any Netherealm video game. There's so much gear you can unlock. There's such incredible skins. The classic skins look awesome. And then you have, like, the movie skins where you can play as Johnny Cage, Sonya Blade, and Raiden from the 1995 film. And then, like, the Scorpion Mortal Kombat 9 skin looks incredible. And then, like, the Sub-Zero skin from, I believe, Deadly Alliance. Or it might be Deception, but that skin looks awesome. So the game looks beautiful, and the customization is incredible. And the Crypt mode, which is awesome. I love the Crypt mode in this game. In Mortal Kombat X, it's like a first-person game. Like, you just see, like, it's a little different. And this one is third-person. You get to break things. You get to fight, kind of, not really fight, but you get to kind of tuggle with reptiles. So that was cool. It kind of, like, great details in the background. You get to explore Shang Tsung's island. You get to go to Goro's lair. And it was awesome to explore. Sometimes I would spend hours just looking through the crypt, unlocking skins, and looking at all the stuff in it. I thought it was awesome. And then this one has an extra DLC. It has Mortal Kombat Aftermath, which a lot of people don't like, and I kind of get it. But it's cool to see Nightwolf, Shang Tsung, and Fujin in the game, and I thought that it was kind of cool they brought the actor who played Shang Tsung in 1995, that film, to come back for this, and he does an incredible job. And so it's really cool to see them again, and Shao Kahn and Sindel just killing, or really beating up pretty much all these characters that we've just spent a ton of time with. Some things I'm not a big fan of. I don't know about the Jade and Kotal Khan thing. That is just so random. I remember seeing, like, in Kotal Khan's chapter, when he's like, Jade walks up, she's like, I'm here. And I was like, okay, that's a little interesting. Are they going to set up romance? But then they just start, making out. I'm like, whoa! And so, like, their dialogue is a little cringy. I still think Kotal Khan is just weak. But his fight with Shao Kahn is awesome. And then, again, Katana going in. It's like such incredible moments in the story mode. So a lot of people do not like this game. I disagree. Some dialogue's a little cheesy. So it's not perfect. But overall, I really, really, really enjoyed the story mode in this game. So I don't have any issues with it. Coming in at number 2, most people would put this as number 1. But I'm going to go with Mortal Kombat / Mortal Kombat 9. This is the game that launched the Netherealm Mortal Kombat games, and it's awesome. The story mode is incredible. I love it. You know, it manages to fit the first 3 Mortal Kombat games in one game, and it actually works. For the first, 5 chapters, it's about the first tournament, and then the second, the next, I'd say, 5, 8, probably 8 chapters, I think, is about the Mortal Kombat 2 tournament, and then the final chapters are about Mortal Kombat 3. So I almost, if there are a few issues I have with the story mode, if they weren't those issues, this would be number one. Number one, I think with MK3, it's the most lackluster. It's really, a lot of people do not like the Sindel killing everybody. I don't have a major issue with it. Yeah, she's a little overpowered, but she has Shang Tsung's soul inside her, plus the power she already had, so yeah, they all kind of weren't actually using their full strength. Why are they not working together? I don't know, but whatever. So that, they could have, I think there was a better way. They could have handled that better. You could have killed all those characters off and just made it work more. And then it's all about, like, the Soulnado. So, like, 3 chapters are just kind of, like, most of our heroes are just kind of sitting around. But still, I love the mystery of Raiden trying to figure out this vision he gets from his future self, and he's trying to figure out who must win. Raiden could have said, the main issue is, so Raiden from the future says he must win. It doesn't take that much worse. Just say Shao Kahn must win, and then put it at that. But, you have to have a plot. So it's cool. I love, you get to set up some of these arcs. So, a few issues. The graphics aren't great. I know this game is over 10 years old, but even for the time, like, if you compare it to some of the other games that were coming out in 2011, even, like, the Arkham games, like Arkham Asylum, which came out before this game, looks way better. So there are a lot of, things that the graphics, I think, even compared to what was coming out, not great. Now, I still think there are incredible moments. Kung Lao's death is emotional, and Raiden really feels responsible for it. Kung Lao, always wants to show that he's strong enough, and he finally's like, I did it. Earthrealm was free, and then Shao Kahn snaps his neck, and it's unfair, but, it's I think they handled it perfect. And then Liu Kang kind of being like, Raiden, you're insane, and Raiden accidentally killing Liu Kang. All that stuff was awesome. This game ended on a great cliffhanger to where you don't really know what's going to happen next. Everyone's dead. Like, pretty much everyone other than Johnny Cage, Sonya, and Raiden. Pretty much everyone's dead. How are you going to solve that? So, I thought that it did a great setup. Now, since MKX and 11 didn't do a great job handling the Revenants, I think that kind of hurts Mortal Kombat 9 a little bit. But still, it's really good. Just, some issues in the plot. I don't think the Sindel thing worked. They could have done that better. And then, the graphics and everything. But still a great game. And the Cyrax arc it's really good. I love what they do with him, where he is his chapter, and he realizes the Link way wrong. He decides to help Earthrealm, but then just ends up getting cyberized, and it's really sad to see him, be taken over by and turned into a robot to where he doesn't really have his soul. But, in first place, Mortal Kombat 1. A lot of people are going to think this is just recency bias. I made sure to wait a little bit. The game's been out for about 2 weeks now. I didn't want to do this as soon as the game came out, because then, I didn't want recency bias to join in. But I think this is the perfect Mortal Kombat game, in my personal opinion. Here's my favorite thing about it. Well, the characters. My favorite thing about it is the characters. Some characters that Netherealm haven't done a great job with, they fix it in this game. Let's do some examples. Baraka. Baraka was always just a jobber. In Mortal Kombat 11, he kind of works with Katana, and I think that towards the end, I think that's really cool. But in this game, he gets to finally have his own chapter, which, finally, and he's like a lead, and he's the leader of Tarkatans, and they changed a lot of things to where, like, the Tarkatans is like a disease, and so he gets to, like, have his own chapter, and he's his own character. He's lost his whole family. And then Reptile, which is, I think, even more of a jobber than Baraka. They didn't even bother putting him in the campaign for Mortal Kombat 11. He was incredible. I loved Reptile in this game. He's there the entire time helping Kenshi, Johnny Cage, Raiden, and Kung Lao. And his chapter, when he realizes his family's been killed by Shang Tsung, it's just incredible. Sindel, after the controversy with MK11 Aftermath and the retcon, which, yeah, I was a little stupid to retcon that. That's another issue with Mortal Kombat 11. they did a great job. She's actually a hero again, and she sacrifices herself. And then other characters like Melina, she's now loved. Since this is Liu Kang is now like, since he reset the timeline, it's really cool to see Liu Kang as like a god now. He's pretty much in the place that Raiden was. He's now Raiden in a way, and so that's really cool. I like this version of Liu Kang a lot. And our four leads, the characters we follow the most: Kung Lao, Raiden, Johnny Cage, and Kenshi. I love their relationship. You introduce all of them, and in Chapter 4, when Kung Lao, Kenshi, and Johnny Cage go on a mission, and don't come back until later on in the game. I loved that whole stuff where Kenshi loses his eyes in a very brutal way, and they work with Ashura and Baraka, Reptile, all that whole. I think it's Chapter 4 through Chapter 6. Probably not Chapter 6, like Chapter 8, around there. I loved it. I loved it so much. I love a lot of the changes. Liu Kang fixes some things, and I think a lot of that was Netherealm. Okay, so what are some of the things people don't like about our games? Let's fix it. I don't really have any issues with this campaign at all. Little nitpicks, but nothing crazy. And then in the final chapter, you get to play as any character you want, because the game becomes like a multiverse game, and it's so cool to see some cameos. I chose Johnny Cage, and it was awesome to see Johnny Cage working with Ninja Mime, a female version of Johnny Cage. And then you get to see the combat kids getting killed, and like a Kano and Sonya combination. And in the final battle, you fight different versions of multiverse characters. And so, like, I remember Stung Lao, which is like Scorpion and Kung Lao together, things like that. It was hilarious. And then they added, I will say the crypt is a little disappointing in this game. You're not actually searching for chests. You just click A and then it does it for you, but whatever. Now, the customization's a little weird. The palette thing I'm a little mixed on, but it still has some really cool skins. And, we'll see how that leads, We might get some incredible skins down the road. So far, I really dig the skins that we have. And then they started this new thing that's like, I forgot what it's called, but it's not a campaign, but you go through fights and stuff, and you're trying to defeat this multiverse version of Scorpion and stuff, and so that's pretty cool. So it's like, it's not a campaign, but it's like a whole new game in a way. Like, it's different, and it's really cool. So overall, I love this game. I made sure to wait a little bit, replay all the games to make sure this was not recency bias, and I really just truly thought, out of all of them, I just genuinely think this is the best one. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. This video took a while to make. I'm going to have to edit it. I'm going to make sure to add clips, make this a good video, so I hope that you guys make sure to like it. Let me know in the comments how you would rate these games. This is just my opinion. You guys are going to disagree. You're probably going to put Mortal Kombat 9 in front and Mortal Kombat 11 at the bottom and yada yada yada. It's my opinion. Thank you for watching. See you guys next time.